All right, today I'm reviewing 0 to 1, Peter Thiel. If I look a little bit discombobulated because I'm trying a new recording platform, Riverside. So, first time, decided maybe Zoom is not the best one to do recordings, especially when I do video recording. Anyway, let's get on to the book review. So, Peter Thiel's, picked it up because I've heard him in a couple of interviews and found him very, very thoughtful, obviously uber successful, a notch below Elon Musk, but I mean, one of the very rare individuals with two big startups. Obviously PayPal, it's PayPal mafia, and most of the people in that mafia are PayPal original group. Many of them independently did startups themselves, successful startups themselves. So now Peter Thiel is involved in Palantir, another that's trending towards multi billion dollar company, maybe trillion dollar company in the future. Anyway, so his insights, from what I kind of heard him, is very libertarian. So which kind of gels with how I view things, more libertarianish. But the main thing about is startup 0 to 1 is about startups, how to understand or how to understand which startups or what startups to create and how you should answer certain questions before you do a startup to see if it's a good idea or not first. All right, to start. So one of the big things I've learned from this book is the secret. What's the secret? What's the secret that nobody else knows that you will be you will be essentially revealing to the world or creating that secret um, sauce, I guess, if you want to say something like that. But he has 7 questions. If once you define and answer those questions properly, then you potentially have a good startup. And one of the main factors he also puts in there is he also goes through several different type of businesses that don't succeed because how those questions are not answered, 7 different questions. And then he goes into essentially how you answer. The biggest one is the secret, and then the team. I think his number two are from not only from him, from everybody else I understood. The biggest or most important thing is the team or the people that are building that on a mission to build something. Now, this is only starting talking about the big startups and someone who has visions of billion-dollar company and so on and so forth. So keep that in mind if you're just thinking like with the AI world now, there's a lot of startup ideas, microsas, stuff like that, where you don't have to shoot for billions or even millions. Hey, you're just making a startup or quick startup to make quick money till it lasts. So that's somewhat of what I've seen or what I'm seeing with a lot of new AI based SaaS companies, micro SaaS as they're called. But if you're trying to build something visionary, spectacular, I think his book is very important to read. It's not a big book. It's based on his lectures in Stanford, and the guy co-wrote Blake Masters, wrote all these notes, and based on that, Peter and him decided to create a book, essentially, or write a book based on those notes on Peter Thiel's teachings. So this is more of a practical, I would say, very clear book in the sense that he goes through steps, the pitfalls, the steps, all that for an startup company. If you are planning to do that, and also you know the thing, like I think I mentioned this again. I'm probably repeating this, but one of the things he mentions about the environment tech and why that fails versus Elon Elon, when he did his, Tesla, it's beyond that. It wasn't just about green, um, cars or electricity cars. It's more than that. I mean, if you truly understand what Elon is doing with Tesla, it's more of an AI company. His robotics and all that stuff. It's much more than just green energy, right? So that's kind of the what he kind of goes through. Like, hey, understanding the secret of that, whatever that startup you're doing, and answering those 7 questions. I'll try to like read through the 7 questions. If I can open that page quickly, but like I said, one of the main questions is, the first one is the engineering question. He goes through, the 7 questions. The timing question, is the timing right? The monopoly question, can your business be a monopoly in that particular niche area? And the people question, obviously, which I mentioned before. And then the distribution question, which I forgot. I mean, yeah, basically, how can you distribute the product system or whatever, right? And then the durability question and the secret question. The secret question I mentioned a couple of times. But anyway, those are the 7 questions he shares that one should answer pretty clearly before they embark or go full on with the startup, instead of people who get stuck in this whole, one of the things it goes through is the book again. One of the things it goes through is talking about how people just get caught up in this whole startup and then don't think through things and just jump into it thinking, something they'll create something big. And I've seen that a lot lately with that AI. I've ran into people just because they could create an app, they think they're having a startup. This one particular person I found, she jumped completely from something to doing startups where she doesn't have a background. She's getting else to do it. Zero, insert research into if it's going to actually make money, right? Quitting the job and doing it, which I thought it was like silly. But I've seen that some people do that. I've burned my hands with a startup. Not burned. I guess I got kicked out of it for disagreeing with the methodology or what they were doing, how we were doing it. But anyway, uh, the whole point is, if in currently you're looking at a startup, trying to figure out a startup, then read this book, answer those questions, and see if it's truly worth it, right? Before you waste time. If you're already there, you already started a startup, then maybe, go back and, answer these questions and see maybe something you have to pivot to, something else you have to pivot to. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy and hope this Riverside FM kind of recording works well. So we'll see.